Welcome back to Instables, everyone. I'm going to go over the weekly watch list on our top 10 stocks as potential breakouts going into this week and this month, and exactly how I plan on playing to each one of them. So let's jump right into this one. First one I'm going to go over with you guys here is LMNL. The reason I go over LMNL is because after hours on Friday, they did get FDA approval and they spiked up about 56%, and they could possibly continue here because they are the first ones to get FDA approval for this rare disorder that nobody else has got FDA approval for. It's called plasminogen deficiency. And if they can have a possible continuation here, then they can definitely continue here. And I do have a specific resistance that we want to break above here now. The reason I want to mention this is because I'm going to go into extended hours here. So you guys can see we have this huge spike that we had after hours, and it looks like we did get rejected around 710. And again, a reason I want to mention 710 is because we did previously get rejected at this point, and we are looking to break above it. So again, we did get this rejection at this point right here, and then we got this rejection again right here. Again, we did mention this when I first started this channel multiple times with descending wedges that were breaking out, but we did get finally our FDA approval, and we are going to possibly break above this and test this 1006 mark is our next price target, in my opinion, if it can break over 710 going into pre-market. So again, this is a pre-market watch. If it does break out going into pre-market, then awesome. In my opinion, I'm more expected for this one to break out going into pre-market than anything if it does hold over 710 again. But again, the reason I want to mention 1006 as our price target is because this is where we previously did get a huge bounce right here. And we also did get our sell-off at this point when we did previously have a major sell-off. And again, this is a very key point that we did previously break out multiple times from. You can see that we did have a huge rejection at this point and we did sell off multiple times. This is a very key resistance in this stock. So again, breaking up to around 1006 would be my price target if it did hold over 710 going into pre-market and it did continue. Again, this is the first time that anybody's ever got FDA approval for this disorder. Again, plasminogen deficiency, if you guys want to look it up. And the next one I go over here is BNGO. The reason I want to go over BNGO here is because they ended the day with a ton of volume, with 29 million volume, and on average they have 16 million. So we did mention this one, I believe, yesterday. I wanted to go over this one more time because, again, we have not seen the 20 MA crossing above the 50 here on the 4-hour for quite a while, ever since we have been selling off. And again, we haven't had this 20 MA cross above since we had our huge breakout. So again, we are crossing above the 50 here. And again, they did report positive earnings about a week ago. So we could definitely see a continuation here. Now, the reason why I mentioned this one here is because we do have our first resistance here at 839. Again, that would be showing us some bullish momentum definitely coming into this. But again, the confirmation breakout that I would like here is at 997. If this one could break over $10, then that definitely would give us more confirmation, as we did previously have a consolidated sell-off at this point, and we also did break out at this point previously. We also did get rejected exactly at this point right before that huge breakout right here. So again, BNGO definitely on the watch going into this week, as the 20 MA is starting to cross over the 50, and we could definitely see some type of continuation going into BNGO. The next one I want to go over here is EVFM. The reason I want to go over EVFM here is because, again, they have been on a huge sell-off, and I definitely would be careful unless you guys do day trade. And again, if you guys do day trade, definitely go to instables.com, click Become a Bull, and then you guys can see all day trade breakouts throughout the day. That's exactly what we do every single day. EVFM here, again, they did have a nice breakout. I'm going to show you guys on the 5-minute here. They broke out actually after hours, so we're going to see if this one can fill into $1.21. The reason I want to show you guys this here is because you can see $1.21 right here that we did get rejected. We had a few bounces here, and then when we did have that sell-off, we did sell off right below that and had a major sell-off. So again, that 121 mark, in my opinion, is very key for this one to come up to. The reason why I say that is because, again, after hours, you can see in extended hours, we did have that huge spike, and we have a large gap that we can fill here. Again, we want this one to break over $1 going into tomorrow. And also, this one could definitely break out going into pre-market, like I said. So we're going to see if this one does play out. And if this one does break new highs above 98 cents, going into $1, like I said, is my resistance that I wanted to break above. And again, that could be a possible 20% play from $1 to $1.21. If this does continue to break out, again, we have been on quite the consolidated play for quite a while, and we have been trying to break new highs here. And it looks like we did get our gap up, and we have been getting volume coming into after hours going in Friday. So again, wait for that breakout going into pre-market, in my opinion. And definitely be careful on this one, as it has been on quite the sell-off, but technically a good day trade and a lot of volume that has been coming in with the 20 MA crossing above the 50 here, and with that huge spike with a huge gap that it does have to fill. So again, EVFM definitely on the watch going into tomorrow. LMNL, we did go over this one, and PLTR. I want to go over it one more time. We did go over this yesterday. The reason I want to go over PLTR is because also on PLTR on the 4-hour, we have not seen the 20 MA crossing above the 50 for quite a while. Again, And it looks like we did get that 20 MA cross above the 50 here. And even going into extended hours, it did continue. But again, we do have the 20 MA cross above the 50 here. We do have this descending wedge that we have been mentioning multiple times, that it has broken above it. And it did come back down, and it did test this descending wedge here, and it did come up, and it looks like it did break above it. Now we see the 20 MA cross above the 50 following this pattern here, hopefully showing us that it's going to give us some bullish momentum going into this week and possibly by the end of this month. But again, in my opinion, PLTR, I'm very bullish on. Again, we have been on quite the sell-off, so we want to break above this 2472 mark that we are testing here. If we cannot break above that 2472 mark, then we will get rejected and definitely have a continuation sell-off, probably down to prices that we don't want to see. But again, we're going to be waiting for this one to break over 2472 and then break into that 2882 as a conservative price target for us to break above to have that bullish momentum. But again, PLTR definitely on the watch. There's a lot of volume that has been coming in, and we are holding up pretty nicely with the 20 MA above the 50. Definitely a possible continuation on PLTR that a lot of people have been waiting for on that 20 MA cross above the 50. The next one, I want to go over GMBL. We did go over this one as well. But again, we haven't seen the 20 MA cross into the 50 for quite a while. We do have a key resistance that we want to break above. Again, a conservative resistance that we want to break above to have bullish momentum. But again, we have been getting quite the momentum here. We do see the 20 MA starting to cross above the 50 here. This is why I want to mention this one, is because GMBL, again, if you guys remember, it has been on quite the breakout for quite a while. And then we did sell off all the way down to our previous breakout point. So it looks like we're having a huge bounce play here. And then 20 MA starting to cross above the 50. And the reason I want to go over this one is because I'm going to go over an extended hours here. You guys can see that the 20 MA did continue to break above the 50 here, and we could see a possible continuation. And that resistance that I want to break over going into this week is 1335. And then the conservative resistance that we want to break over to show us more bullish momentum would be 1484. So again, we may even see something that come along the lines of this, is come up to around 1484, come down, test 1335 one more time, and then break out. But again, GMBL definitely on the watch. In my opinion, esports is only getting started, like I said yesterday. And in my opinion, they'll definitely have a breakout at some point in time. But again, we're going to definitely be waiting for that bullish confirmation on that resistance breakout at 1484. But again, I'm going to go over MVIS. The reason I want to go over MVIS is because MVIS is MVIS. Everybody knows that MVIS is an absolute monster, and it has been completely breaking out. We've been calling this one multiple times on consistent breakout plays in the room also. But again, we do have a price target. We want this one to break over to 2291. We have been mentioning this previously since it was crossing with the 20 MA above the 50 here. And it looks like we are going to be trying to break above this 2291 mark. And if we can break over this 2291 mark, like I said, then we would be breaking our very key resistance that we're trying to break out of here. We did get this doji candle here that I did mention. We did point an arrow at it. And we did say that we did need to break above this resistance here that we did get rejected at. So it looks like we'll be trying to test this. We'll be trying to break above it. We do see the 20 MA crossing above the 50 like we want to see. And we could definitely see a possible continuation breakout, as we do see the EMA lines holding above the MACD here, showing us that it could possibly continue. MVIS definitely on the watch going into this week. Now, one that I have not mentioned very much that I do want to mention specifically for one reason, and I'm going to show you guys here for a second exactly why. MOSY has been on quite the breakout. We mentioned this previously, but however, I did want to mention how much this has consolidated for so long. And we have been waiting for a breakout above this resistance at 621. We did mention a long time ago. And the reason why I mentioned this is because we did have our rejections at this point right here. And you can see we had those exact same rejections at this point, and it was consolidating. The 20 MA was holding over the 50 here, and then did get that breakout that we're looking for. So the reason I want to go over this is because we did get rejected exactly here at 1066, and we did want to see a possible continuation on MOSY, as we did get a lot of volume. Again, they ended the day with 28 million volume. On an average, they have 10 million. So we're going to be waiting for this possible continuation going into $13 going into tomorrow. But however, like I said, MOSY has been on quite the breakout. We definitely want to be careful. But if it can hold over 1066 going into tomorrow, then we could definitely see a continuation. I've seen this happen multiple times, especially with the amount of consolidation that we have been having. We definitely want to keep MOSY on a huge watch. It did start to sell off going in towards the end of Friday, but it didn't have a huge sell-off. It actually did consolidate. So we're going to see if that consolidation can turn into more bullish momentum and break over that 1066 mark again for another breakout, in my opinion. Again, like I said, because there's so much consolidation within MOSY, that definitely can give it that huge breakout that it's been looking for. And we've been waiting for quite a while. So again, LEDS, I wanted to mention LEDS because we've been saying how, I don't know if I've said it in here actually multiple times, but LEDS definitely has been the next BTX that everybody's been talking about, and it has been continuing to break out. Now, we did come up all the way to around 28.79, and we did get rejected. And it looks like we have been breaking new highs. So we're going to be looking for a continuation here. I'm going to go over the 5 minute with you guys here so you guys can see exactly what I was looking at. And the reason I want to mention LEDs, again, we did have a sell-off going into Friday. A lot of people are wondering, why would you even mention this if it did sell off on Friday? And the reason I want to mention this is because we did break up to this point right here. It looks like we are testing this point here at 2072. We did break below it, but it looks like we could test this here and turn around here if we can have the same pattern play out that we did see previously. And the reason I want to mention this is because we did see the sell-off going down to the side right here, and we had this huge breakout, and it looks like we are having a sell-off down to the side right here again, potentially having another breakout. We saw this happen, if you guys remember, on I believe it was LMNL. Yeah, LMNL here. You could see we had the same thing happened multiple times. Descending wedge broke out multiple times with the same pattern. And the reason I want to go over this is because you can see the same thing happening here with LEDs. We could potentially see that descending wedge happening here again and a potential breakout. So again, we're going to see if this pattern does continue. Again, that confirmation would be breaking new highs above 28.75 to be conservative. Again, we did have the sell-off, so we want to make sure we do have a conservative breakout here. But the 20 MA is crossing below the 50. So again, this is more of a back burner watch. Again, I want to watch this one because there's a lot of volume that has been coming in that they have not been getting, but again, they have been continuing their pattern multiple times. Again, we had that same pattern come out right here, broke out, pattern broke out, and we can see the same thing happen again if it does continue and break over our 28.87 mark again would be very key. So again, LEDs definitely on the watch. We're going to see if CCIV can break out here also. We have been talking about how we're long on this one since around $18. And I'm going to go over the 4 hour with you guys here so you guys can see the swing trade perspective. The reason I want to mention this one again is because the 20 MA is crossing above the 50 here. And we have not seen this one since the stock has been selling off. So we're going to see if this one can break above this resistance going into this week at 24.27. If we can break above 24.27, in my opinion, then we could definitely have a continuation possibility here around 33.02. If we can break over 33.02, that would be the conservative bullish momentum breakout point for CCIV. But however, I am long on CCIV, like I've said multiple times. I'm holding CCIV and I will continue to buy more if it does happen to sell off below. I think it's about 18.90 is my average. So we're going to see if it can continue. If not, if it sells off, I'm totally fine with that too, because I am totally fine with buying Lucid Motors long term. I've been mentioning my price target on Lucid Motors by the end of the year is at least $30. And then by next summer is at least $70, breaking new highs. So again, we're going to see if Lucid Motors can continue here. They have been getting momentum. They have been getting volume. But again, we need more confirmation on volume, as we have been getting volume, but not so much as we would probably need to break above that 33.02 mark. So we may just continue to consolidate. We're going to see what happens here. But again, CCIV, in my opinion, definitely my favorite long play that I have been talking about. And again, the EMA lines facing up on the MACD here, showing us that we could definitely have a continuation breakout. That's also why I want to mention CCIV here. So I'm going to go over AMC real quick with you guys. So you guys can see that we have been trying to break above this resistance here at 72.57. And it looks like we have been on a sell-off, but a lot of people have been wondering what might happen going into tomorrow. So we're going to see on the 15-minute here, we do have a little bit of a sell-off here, but however, we do see the 20 MA crossing below the 50 here on the 15-minute. We're going to wait for this to possibly turn around and have the 20 MA cross back above the 50 and break above the 72.57 mark. Again, this is our key resistance I want to break above. I know we have been selling off for quite a while. A lot of people are wondering, can I just hold at these levels? Are we going to have a squeeze? Is this naked short squeeze news? Is it legitimate or is it not? The answer to that is definitely play your technicals here. Don't buy it too early. Don't FOMO, and definitely wait for this one to break above 72.57. I'm telling you, if this squeeze is true, then breaking over 72.57 and playing the conservative bullish momentum play would definitely be the better play, in my opinion, than waiting and possibly buying too early on a possible sell-off. So again, we're going to definitely keep our eye on AMC. But however, I'm not going to buy into this one until it does give us more bullish confirmation. As again, like I said, the 20 may cross below the 50. I'm not trying to hate on any AMC holders at all, but however, we do need to see more bullish momentum to see a potential breakout on AMC. But again, if you guys are looking for all these penny stock breakouts, you guys know what to do. Go to instabulls.com, click become a bull, and then you guys can see all these penny stock breakouts throughout the day. And if you guys have been supporting the channel, again, I appreciate every one of you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed our weekly watch list as always. And we do this every Sunday. And lastly, if you guys do like this video, it does help other people find it, and it does help the channel grow. And I do appreciate it very much. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video.